Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hello. Sorry.
We're going to review Aliens Colonial Marines after playing it. Yeah.
I
So, we actually went through the game and completed the entire thing. My computer started, completely messing up. I have no idea what happened. It messed up. But, anyways,
we
so we
only
didn't
had a
record that. We got to, the part in the Raven where you finally acquire your weapons. And that's the last bit we got recorded, which will be up soon. But yeah, go ahead.
honestly, I heard about all of the controversy surrounding the game, and I didn't heed any of it. I knew that I just wanted to play. I wanted to shoot some friggin' aliens.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I remember
while
you.
I want to strangle Gearbox and Sega for doing what they did, I have to praise Timegate Studios, the company that actually finished the campaign, for giving us something.
I remember you and I were on 4chan a few days before it actually came out, and we were on the video game section of it. And there was a thread on there talking about Aliens Colonial Marines and how bad it was. And I'm like, dude, this is bad. Everyone's saying it's bad, and of course this is 4chan, so I'm just, it's gonna be up in the air until I actually play it. And then, of course, it came out. All the reviews were horrible, but you and I had already played by that point. We'd played up until mission 4, I think. And I just remember that it was horrible reading all these reviews and stuff. And I think
Terrible.
the moment whenever we knew the game was going to be bad is after viewing in part 2 at the very, actually, I believe it was in part 1 of our video with the massive clipping
Oh
whenever.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
go
was
ahead.
a warning from Timegate saying you don't want to go on.
Yeah, it was. Whew.
That was
But
kind of jarring.
yeah, but I
And
mean,
then it went downhill from there.
but let's talk about graphics right quick. What do you think about them?
Graphics are, well, I think Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64 had better graphics.
Now,
That's the God's honest truth.
now I won't be that bad on it because it does look better. It looks better than an Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube, all that stuff. It looks like it should have been released around the time that the Xbox 360 was maybe a year old, or somewhere around the beginning of the Xbox and the PlayStation 3 and stuff. Because it definitely doesn't look like it's a 2013 game
No,
at all.
it looks like garbage.
There
Just
was a
garbage.
there was a texture I realized on the fourth mission. I forgot what it's called. It doesn't even matter. But it was like some rubble or something of the sort. And I remember looking at it. I was like, wow, that looks like it was ripped directly from Borderlands and put into this game. And the art style didn't even change. Like, it still had that shade, that cell shade, whatever it is, that massive outlines and stuff. And I was like, wow, this looks really bad.
That's. I don't think I saw that, but what I saw, the screens in the game, the vid screens and everything were just undiscernible. You couldn't even. There's no idea what the heck was going on with those screens, but they were like, there's your normal bad textures, and then there's whatever those were, like completely untextured. Like just literally slap some stuff in paint, just a black screen with some yellow scribblies on it, and then they made the scribblies very
It was
bad looking.
it was definitely pretty bad looking. But now let's go on to gameplay. Talk about that for a second. I'll say this. The guns and everything, they felt good. They felt like they existed in the game. Animations are decent. The alien animations, I like them. I think they're pretty good. The human ones, well, you can't really, it's kind of hard to go wrong there. But shooting's pretty decent. But go ahead.
I did not like the guns. When you cycled the standard M41A pulse rifle, it didn't sound like it fired full auto. There were a couple rounds where the gun would recoil, but there was no muzzle flash and there was no sound. It would just go bop, 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 even as you're holding down the trigger.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they do. And it's BS that Hudson's pulse rifle is burst fire. I really hope they fix that in the future.
But I remember that whenever I was looking down the scope, I had got my it's not really a scope, but you know what I'm talking about. And if you've seen the video, then you'll know what I'm talking about too. But anyways, it's the red dot type scope. I was looking down that, and I was shooting or firing the gun, and like the gun wasn't even recoiling, and I didn't see any muzzle flash. Like if I was to do that in any other game, at least like okay, the recoil, I can kind of understand. That's but the muzzle flash, come on, give us at least a muzzle flash. Like that's all we ask for. But I guess we'll go straight on into the story or whatever story there is in here, if you want to call it that.
I don't want to even hear that word after what we saw.
Yeah, it was something. It started off good, but once you got past into like the second mission, I believe. I don't know. These missions are all getting compiled in my head. I don't even remember the lines between the two. But anyways,
I remember
once you get back to the Sulaco and you're back on there and you're stuck or whatever, it's just after that first mission, it just it's bad. The Raven, now that one was a fun mission because we didn't have our guns or anything. We had to kind of be silent. It really wasn't challenging at all. But you had to kind of be quiet and get past these boilers and whatnot. But
that was the best part of the whole game for me, honestly. I thought that was awesome because it felt, for the first time in that Aliens game, I felt terror.
Yeah, I mean,
scared because I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call mine fear or anything, but it was definitely, you're kind of sitting on the edge of your seat because you're like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna go on, man. And it's like you just make do something wrong, walk a little too fast, and all of a sudden you have two boilers on you exploding and killing you in one hit.
Instantly.
And there's a Marine that gets captured, and we're not going to spoil who it is because, well, you got to see it for yourself. Let's just say that. Anyways, but
bullshit.
And yeah, that's pretty
Sergeant.
much. Whenever we figured out who it was, Drake Gazelle and I, we both just went. Well, we were silent, and then we were like, what the fuck?
I couldn't find the words.
It was something. I'm sitting here trying to think of. Anyways, okay, so the story sucks. Let's just put it that way. The ending sucks. The end boss fight sucks. It's not even really a boss fight. It's actually very easy, assuming that you can hit the alien queen. Um, but we're gonna go straight on into multiplayer so we can get this over with. Um, how do you feel about the multiplayer? I know you and I kind of have different
as
feelings of it.
much as I got my ass beat, and as unbalanced as it is, playing the Marine and actually having to use the motion tracker to see where the other alien players are, it felt like aliens. It felt
I
like they're coming from all over, and I'm out of ammo. And
yeah
where are my buddies?
the whatever, even as playing as the alien, it's very fun because you have that kind of radar type vision, whatever you want to call it, and it's really cool because you're able to see the Marines, you're able to see your own alien teammates and whatnot. And of course, playing as a Marine is really fun because like you said, you have to pull out that motion tracker, and you've got to be near your friends because if you're trying to be a one-man walking army or whatever, you're not gonna last long at all. You're probably gonna get killed very soon.
Yeah, aliens kill Marines in 2, maybe 3 hits.
Yeah, and it depends on like certain abilities. The loadouts and stuff in there, they're pretty good. Of course, the Marine loadout's pretty much the same as you'll get in the campaign, except for some different armor and a few other things, but nothing too big besides that armor. Now, the alien, what they get is a little different. They have mutations, and of course, they have kind of like an armor kind of thing. And they also have different abilities. Like they have a medium strike, which does medium damage. They have a heavy strike, which is slower.
They have
does
fatalities.
more damage. Yeah, they have fatalities, and it's. I gotta say, for what's really bad about the campaign, the multiplayer doesn't make up for it. The multiplayer doesn't make up for the game at all. But the multiplayer is fun. If you want a decent multiplayer with aliens and just Colonial Marines, kind of fighting each other, then this game, well, it'll probably satisfy you. But if not, there are other games out there. There's Alien vs. Predator 2000. There's Alien versus Predator, which was made in 2010. There's a bunch of other things. But, this, I gotta say, this one's multiplayer is fun to me.
I enjoy it. As much as I get killed and slaughtered and cuss at it, I enjoy it.
Yeah. It definitely has a learning curve, that's for sure. But I guess that wraps it up. So I guess we're gonna give it a score 1 out of 10, like most other reviewers do. So
Well,
I'll
that's
let you
your
have
score.
I'll let you have the honor of giving out your score, and then I'll give out my own.
Okay. My score, it's unexcusable graphics, a horrendous story with a bullshit plot hole. 2 of them have 2 plot holes that will just leave your mind scattered if you're any fan of the Aliens franchise. The multiplayer, I enjoy it. I get killed in it, but I enjoy it because it feels like Aliens. I'll give it a solid 5 out of 10. Just because 1, you get to shoot at aliens, and 2, the multiplayer. That's really it for me.
Well, my views on it. It's fun if you're bored, and if you've already bought the game, it's not like, you may as well stick with it. So, we've already bought the game, so I have to stick with it. Anyways, so, it's fun if you're bored. If you want to have a good multiplayer, Colonial Marines versus Aliens, it's fantastic, and it delivers on that part.
You could do worse.
The story is inexcusable. Like, it's canon, too.
Oh,
and that's just bad.
That. Oh, I wish I hadn't heard that again.
Yeah, okay, it's canon. Everyone's got to remember that. So, and then the guns. I actually like the guns. The guns were fun. I liked them. Of course, the muzzle flash thing we've already went over. But besides that, I liked them. Um, and really, I mean, the only thing that really put me off on this game was mostly the story and the graphics. The graphics looked like they were early, or I guess it'd really be mid 2000s. But it looks like it should have been put out at the beginning of the Xbox 360, whenever it was first coming out. But I'm gonna have to give it a 6 out of 10, just because of the multiplayer, and just because I don't think the story should put it behind too much. But it does have major flaws, and if you've already bought it, I'm sorry. If you plan on buying it, don't. Simple as that. Actually, I'm actually gonna redo my score, and I'm gonna steal your score and give it a 5 out of 10 now that I think of it. So,
Don't think of it anymore. That number will keep going down.
Yeah, nah, 5's good enough. I mean, the multiplayer kind of picks up on it. A few more customization, like some unique things. Like for the computer version, it'd be pretty cool if you can get some pictures in there and like put it on your armor, like no matter what it is, because that's just silly. It's an Aliens, You've seen the movie, you know how they talk, and it's also the military. You expect some kind of nasty stuff maybe to be put on some armor. Now I don't condone it, I don't support that kind of thing, but it'd be nice to have that kind of customization on armor and stuff. But besides that, yeah, 5 out of 10. So yep, that wraps it up.
Yeah.
We will see you some other time.
Take it easy.
Or don't. It doesn't matter.
I really don't care either way.